Good evening everyone. So if we can settle and we'll begin in the next minute or so. Thank you so much for joining us at St. George's Cathedral. It's really incredibly moving, inspiring, deeply touching to see so many people connecting with boundless compassion and joining us here this evening. Thank you very much. You can give yourselves a round of applause. So before we begin, I have some boring logistical announcements. The first is that we are not only here in person, but this evening we're joined online by quite a few people from around the world. We are streaming this event live through Mingyur Rinpoche's YouTube channel. And so to help us with that, we just ask that everyone switch your phone onto flight mode or off because we really need the signal in order to stream successfully and clearly. So if you can please make sure that has happened. And this event has been quite a journey in the making. We invited Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche to South Africa for the first time in 2009. And it's taken some time for us to get the conditions right and the timings right for Rinpoche to be able to join us. And we really wanted to explore this incredible thing of boundless compassion. And we wanted to find the right venue, the right place, and the right people to connect with. And so it was our dream that we could use St. George's Cathedral, an incredibly sacred place of refuge, an incredible place dedicated to not just spiritual practice, prayer, meditation, compassion, wisdom, but also truth. And we were very fortunate that we could secure that. And then we're working together not only with Turga International, Turga South Africa, but also with our friends, the CTII, the Cape Town Interfaith Initiative, and then all of our incredible esteemed guest speakers. And so tonight, the running order is such that we'll have an opening. And so to begin with, Bishop Joshua Lowe of Table View, who is here representing the Archbishop of Cape Town and St. George's Cathedral, will welcome us. And then we will have Zabada January with an acknowledgement of land, and then followed by Gogo Bazamile and Gogo Nati, and together they will be welcoming their ancestors. And then after that we'll have a choir performance. So without further ado, I'd like to ask you to stand and welcome Mingyur Rinpoche and Bishop Lowe.
Good evening to you all. Let's try it again. Good evening to you all. Greetings from our Archbishop, the Most Reverend Archbishop Thabo Makgoba, who unfortunately is unable to join us, and the very Reverend Terry Lester, the Dean of this cathedral, and the people of the diocese and the city. It is a great privilege and joy to welcome you to this beautiful city of Cape Town, our mother city, and this, the People's Cathedral, St. George the Martyr. This cathedral, dedicated to the memory of St. George the Martyr, together with those who served here as pastors to God's people over decades, have always understood that their role involved care for the people, all the people of the city, no matter their race, gender, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, or spirituality. In this way, it is sought to be a place of welcome and non-judgmental embrace, no matter how they refer to their high being or the name by which the being is known. During successive years, when inhuman political systems devalued and dehumanized children of that being, people of all faith and all backgrounds came together here to raise a united voice and say an unequivocal no. But faith and religion is not just about saying no. It is always about saying with one voice, yes. Yes to shared values. Yes to that which hold in common, and yes to all that celebrates life and the gift each human and living being is to the world. Today, as we welcome you to this place and this city, we do so knowing that those values are under threat in the world, seemingly slow to welcome, scared to embrace, and fearful to the other. Today, we reaffirm that yes to all that is good and wholesome and healing. It is crucial that we do, given how far many have veered away from the cause of unity, welcome, embrace, and our common human purpose for all human creatures. May you have a blessed and spiritual gathering. Thank you.
Camakweni bahlobo. Nginqula idlozi lakho Dlamini osebalikhulu impolo zomnyama inketha abaweli. Indlozi kule khaya ngoba sisulu melusi. Ndinqule uDube umaqophedakeni ngoba amanzi anesibungu. Ndinqula uSibisi ibhovu nganogamede kanjalo. Nditsho kukhokho xa ndisenze njalo. Ndiphinde ndinqule xa ndenze njalo koBhele kukubona kolanga. KoDlamini koZizwe ujama kaSijadu. Nditsho emagqirheni xa ndenje njalo. Ndiphinde futhi ndinqule koZulu. KoMbiza koBhoqoza. Ndinqule koDluma koSophichoko yemyem koHala. Ndinqule kanjalo makhehla amakhulu koGambu koMemela. Kukusondeza isihlwele ke xa ndenje njalo. Njengamntu onikwe isikhundla soba ndisondeza abantu abadala apha ebandleni. Sizocela ke apho ba abantu abadala abahlangane ngentloko ngoba sifike ngokwentlanga nangeentlanga apha namhlanje. Sifika ngokuthandana, sifika ngokufuna ukubambisana, sifika ngokufuna ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi umuntu nomuntu inkolo yakhe ihlonipheke, ithandwe, iyaziwe. Ngakho ke ngizokwamkela idlozi lika baba omkhulu uMingyur Rinpoche namhlanje osukele elizweni laseNepal wazosivakashela la eMzantsi. Khona azosifundisa iinkolo zakwamoya abanazo ezweni labo ababonayo nabo ukuthi zibaphilisile. Sicele ke nathi ba ololwazi lusiphilise nathi apha elizweni laseMzantsi Afrika. Ingake ngaloo ndawo ke makhehla amakhulu inhlonhle ezikulu zamakhehla linoma bomavula kuvaliwe emzini yamadoda. Amadoda ebhekile nina zishingishani zomoya. Inga wonke umuntu angaphiliseka kule ndawo esikuyo ngokutshisa kwale mpepho namhlanje. Ngale ngoma esiyifakileyo eyamathongo. Inga angavuseleleka wonke umuntu awolapha kuleli sonto esikulo namhlanje. Avuseleleke emoyeni, aphile kwezindawo angaphili kuzo. Ayazi futhi ba apha angaphilanga khona bakhona abantu abanomncedisa afike kwindawo yempilo. Siyacama kushisa ke kuloo ndawo. Siyathokoza emakhosini, makhosi amakhulu, inhlonhle ezikulu zamakhehla.
Camakweni kuthetha ubomnyama ke zivela ukhanya. Sibandla ke sikamgcina ke sikaTyhopho sikaXhamela sikanokwindla sikanogabula ikhulu malambendla kushaza amabhulathi zidulu zethafa. Sibandla sikaBhlangwe sikanqarhi sikabhubhe sikamshikisha sikahuma unkomo zaphukela intabeni ntsho kubheka izulu. Sibandla elihle ke mntu omdala likanjuza kanqoba karhudula ubhodla inyama likawashota. Ndiyathandaza nditsho ngankani ke ngicinga amathambo amahle amhlophe kwindawo esileli kuzo. Bandle sihle ke mntu omdala sikanyawuza sikathahla kandayi ngeza ngobende ngoba amazweni isibungu. Ukunqola ke kukuthandaza kucenga ndiyacamagusha. Ndicenge ke kuhlelo esihle sikamaga sikaSabe sikampondo umsugqatha noqubusha amawele kwezana ndiyathandaza. Ukunqola ke kucenga. Ngicenge ke kuhlelo sikaDlamini zizinqe nobojama sijathu nje kwesinamnam mzukulwana sikaqhoko sikaqalisa. Nje gqirheni anditsho ngankani. Ndiyathandaza ke masango nzitha kwayikho enyandeni ke ukunqola kukuthandaza. Shukumisa ke lo mathambo amahle amhlophe sibonga utata ke othe wanyathela kwilizwe lethu. Bonakale kuhlambuluka kuphila mntu omdala amakhosi amahle. Bonakale kususa umhlaba omnyama ugcwele igazi labantwana babantu Camagweni. Bonakale ke kubekho inkqubela phambili notshintsho empilweni Camagweni. Bonakale ukukhuseleka kwabantwana abancinci abasakhulayo njalo ukunqola kuthandaza. Sibiza ke ku-forefathers zethu, sibiza intaba, sibiza amanzi, sibiza amawa kule ndawo, sibiza ingxangxasi mntu omdala. Sicenge sithandaza emiqolombeni siyacenga. Sitsho emifuleni bandla elihle eliphilayo ukunqola kukuthandaza. Hlanganisa ke izibandla zonke ezikule ndawo mntu omdala amakhosi amahle nditsheza semanzini elagcwabeni mntu omdala kube nokuphila phakathi kwabantu. Ndibulela ke nami ukunyathela kule ndawo zendishiye ke okuhle okumhlophe nami ngokunyathela kwapho ukuze ndiphile bonakale ke amahlaba akho emzimbeni esisuka njalo ukunqola ke kucenga. Izibandla zonke ke endingazibizanga zingaqumbi iziqalekise zingaziva zivaleleke ngaphandle ngenxa yexesha ukunqola kukuthandaza. Ndibulela ke umuntu oncame yonke into naye wazuba phakathi kwalo msitho wanamhlanje ukunqola kukuthandaza. Emakhosini indlondlo zobaba omkhulu nabomavula kuvaleni. Makhosi indlondlo zamakhehla ukunqola kukuthandaza. Ndawo makhehla camakhohlwe. We're greeting all our ancestors, our forefathers, our late fathers. We're calling upon all of them to connect, to be with us in a spiritual form. All of us have a history where we come from, bloodline. So I'm also blessed to be here. We were praising, calling on them as traditional healers. We are a special people, abantwana abaphiweyo. We were blessed to be here. That's all. I'm speechless. Thank you, Baba. I don't know what to say, but yeah, thank you so much. Yes,
Goeienaand, assalamu alaikum, shalom, moweni. Good day. Kaises, everyone. My name is Abada January, and I'm a Khoi indigenous woman. So let us not begin with words, but with our presence. Take a deep breath and feel the earth beneath you. This land is not only beneath our feet, it lives within us. It holds memory, spirit, and possibility. As we gather here in Cape Town today, on the land that carries the wisdom of those who come before us. These stories in echoes in the stones, the wind, and the rhythm of the ocean. I honor my ancestors, and I honor the first peoples of this land, the custodians, past, present, and emerging, whose deep relationship with this land continues to guide us. We also acknowledge the Nguni peoples whose ancestral ties run deep. Their languages, their rituals, and philosophies reminds us that this land is sacred and that our ancestors walk with us still. As the Nguni saying, umuntu ngumuntu nkabantu. A person is a person through other people. Let this gathering reflect that truth. We are here because others came before us. But this welcome is not mine alone. It's an invitation for each one of us to connect to the land that shaped our own ancestors, to the present moment where we meet in shared humanity, to the generations yet to come whose footsteps will echo ours. In the spirit of Ubuntu and the wisdom found across spiritual traditions, from the Buddhist principle of interbeing, to the indigenous understanding of kinship, to the sacred teachings of unity and compassion, we recognize that we are not separate from this land, nor from one another. We are threads in a vast tapestry of life. I invite you now to silently offer your gratitude to the land that raised you, to those who walked before you, to the children who will inherit what we leave behind. Today, we are blessed to welcome Lama Mingyur Rinpoche into our sacred space. Across many traditions, the presence of a teacher is a reminder of compassion, wisdom, and the path towards awakening. May this gathering be a mandala of respect, a circle where ancient wisdom meets open hearts. Let's walk gently, speak mindfully, and listen deeply. May our time together honor the past, enrich the present, and bless the future. Welcome all. Welcome home. And now before I continue, I want to invite you to turn to the person next to you, behind you, in front of you. Not with formality, but with sincerity. And let your words carry truth and warmth. Say to them, I am because you are. I am because you are.
Yeah. I am because you are.
And
Because you are.
as the Khoi proverb reminds us, a person is a person through others, and the land remembers. Kore kare. Welcome, welcome with an open heart.
I am because you are. So thank you so much. And please join me in welcoming the CTII Community Choir for their very debut performance.
Pacem Corium, da Pacem Corium, Pacem, Pacem, da Pacem Corium, da Pacem Corium,
Da Pacem
Thank you so much for the amazing choir performance by the CTII Community Choir. And now for our next special guest, Mingyur Rinpoche. A few years back, I actually requested Rinpoche to give me some practices to do. And Rinpoche recommended at that time that I do the Joy of Living, one of Rinpoche's incredible teaching programs. And the first part is all about connecting with awareness. And the second part is about opening the heart. And it was in these teachings that I had a very special experience and understanding, which I think is an incredible result of how Rinpoche has this unique way of connecting us with our innate compassion and loving kindness. And one day, after doing the practices for some time, I was in Kathmandu and I could hear the traffic in Kathmandu. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of hooting. There's a lot of horns being blown. And I started to hear this sound as an expression of compassion. And that may sound a little bit strange to you, but for those of us who've received these teachings from Rinpoche, that makes sense. And so without further ado, Rinpoche, with an open heart and deep thanks and appreciation, we would like to invite you to teach and guide us in meditation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. And as you mentioned, because you, the phrase, I am because you. I am because you are. So this is a very wonderful phrase. And in my tradition, that we believe that everybody has love and compassion. Doesn't matter what kind of color, religion, race, it doesn't matter who you are. So everybody has what we call the innate love and compassion. So for my personal journey, when I was young, I had panic attacks. So panic attacks developed with me around 7 and 8 years old. And at the beginning, I didn't know that was panic attacks. I thought I have big problem with my heart. And I thought like I'm having heart attack. So I asked my mom to check with the many hospitals. And all the doctors said, oh, you have wonderful heart. And I thought, bad doctor, you know. So you don't know anything about my heart. I'm dying now. And you say you have wonderful heart. So then I asked my mom to go to another hospital to check again. And the doctor said, oh, your heart is perfect. Bad doctor again. But then in the end, there's a very good doctor, student of my father. So I really want to check with that doctor. And that doctor said, you have wonderful heart. So then I thought, oh, what's wrong with me? So I discussed this with my mom. And she said, actually, you are having panic attacks. So then, what is the solution? Because heart is okay. Medicine, those days, there's no really kind of like panic medicine. These things are not there. Drugs are there in Nepal. So the only thing is, she said, you should learn meditation. So I began to learn meditation from my father. And my first question to my father is, how I can get rid of my panic attacks? And he said, don't fight. Then I told him, okay, now I will not learn meditation from you. But then he said, believe me, he gave me 2 reasons. The first reason is, the more you fight with the panic attacks, panic becomes bigger. So later I discovered that I have panic of panic, fear of panic. That has become like fuel to panic attacks. So maybe you can try that there's special dish called mili, right? So if you tell yourself, don't think about mili or the pizza. You know pizza? So if you tell yourself, no pizza, no pizza, what happened? We think about pizza. And all the different type of pizza will come to us. So sometimes people think meditation meaning think of nothing. Silence your mind, empty your brain. Actually, that's impossible. The more you fight, become bigger. So my father said, don't fight with the panic attacks. Second, he said, no need, because you have wonderful innate quality that always with you. So he said, it's like sky, because in the Himalaya mountain we have beautiful sky. But the sky not always come. We have storms, snowstorm, thunderstorm. And these storms sometimes become crazy, you know. But he said, these storms never change the nature of sky. Sky is always present, always there. So he said, you can find this inner sky within you. Then I asked him, how? So he gave me what we call introduction of these innate qualities. So there are three things, what we call awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. And these three things is with us all the time, 24 hours. So first time when I hear that, I don't believe. Really? I have awareness, love and compassion, wisdom 24 hours? So I thought, it's like father try to please children, you know, sometimes what we call sweet talk. So I thought that was sweet talk. But then later, there's a practice how to connect with these innate qualities within all of us. So should I introduce in my own style? Do you want to hear? How many of you want to learn? Want to know? Raise your hand. Okay, now introduction is finished. Understand? Why? Raising hand need to require awareness. Without awareness, you cannot raise hand. Even the thought of, yes, please introduce, is coming from awareness. And even the movement of your hand coming from awareness. Then there is motivation, that wanting to know is what we call love and compassion. Then all this comes based on what we call recognition, identification, discerning. So that is the wisdom. When we look at the flower, first the flower appears, is what we call awareness. Then we recognize, oh, that is flower. The recognition is what we call wisdom. Then there's a reaction. Oh, I like that flower. I don't like that flower. So that reaction is love and compassion. Of course, we might think, oh, that is with me all the time. What is special about that? Good. It's with us all the time. But then how these things fully manifest or not, what we call it, depend on our realization. So let's say if I have watch, and if I not recognize my own watch cannot tell me the time, right? So when I recognize my own watch, then watch can tell us the time. So similarly, we all have these innate qualities, but when we recognize, then it manifests for us. Though it's there, but it's almost become like hidden. So therefore, that everybody, we all are here together. Why we are together here? We want to be happy. And all of you come here, why? Looking for happiness. And right now, all of you are here, why? Looking for happiness. Every moment, every breath, every eyes blink. Yes or no? If we didn't bring eyes, then what happened? Cause of suffering, right? So if you try to stare your eyes for 1 minute, feeling not good. So each blink is looking for happiness. And even the subconscious level, each breathing also looking for happiness. And it's not the daytime, even while we are sleeping. What we call unconscious. Even in the unconscious level, we are looking for happiness, don't want to suffer. Yes or no? If mosquito comes, you have mosquito or no? So if mosquito bites you while you're sleeping, what we will do, we will scratch. Because we don't want to have that pain. We want to free from that suffering. So we will move. So therefore, it's very important to, in my tradition, to understand these qualities within ourselves. So I'm looking for happiness. Every moment, every breathing is what we call love. Love meaning looking for happiness, looking for something meaningful, something nice, something precious, and compassion meaning wanting to free from suffering, wanting to free from problem. So when we understand this within ourselves, then we see everybody is like that. And we see everybody is like brothers, sisters, whatever feeling that we have our family can be expanded. So then entire nation, entire world become part of our family, part of you. Then that is what we call boundless love and compassion. It's not that we have to make everybody same, but we need to recognize the fundamental feeling and the fundamental quality, not just love and compassion. There is awareness, there's a wisdom that by nature we all are lovable, the sense of sweetness, and worthy to be happy. So maybe we wish this practice together. What do you think? So maybe first we can send love and compassion to each other. So maybe we can practice this together a little bit. So, hello. First, keep your spine loosely straight and just feel your body. And maybe in the body, you might feel a lot of sensations, feeling of gravity, maybe temperature like warm or cold. So just connect your body through sensation and relax muscles in the body. What we call mind and body together. And now, please listen to the sound. You just listen and no need to do anything. Remember, we all have this awareness all the time. And to connect with the awareness through the sound, that ear and mind both listen to the sound. And meanwhile, a lot of thought comes, millies, pizzas, what should I do tomorrow, something happened yesterday. All these are welcome. Let them come, let them go, but important is remember the sound again and again. Now listen to any sound of cars, coughing, or sound system, anything. You can jump from one sound to another sound. The important thing is, if you hear the sound, not just through your ear, but your mind hear the sound, that is the practice of awareness. And why we are doing this practice? Actually looking for happiness. We all are together here today looking for happiness, wanting to free from suffering. So now wish that, may I have happiness and the causes of happiness. And we expand this to others. So today we will send our love and compassion to everybody here in this church. May all of you have happiness and the causes of happiness. And you receive everybody's love and compassion also, and send your love and compassion to others again. May all of us free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Now we can expand more. All entire nation, South Africa, entire Africa, entire earth. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Under the skin, we all are same. We all want to be happy, don't want to suffer. Doesn't matter who we are, which culture, language, races, spiritual belief, doesn't matter. Everybody has awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. And wish that may all of us to connect with the love, compassion, awareness, wisdom. May world become peaceful. No conflicts, no war. Environment become balanced. May all of us discover the lasting happiness. May world become peaceful. Okay, now please relax your mind for a few seconds. No need to focus particular on anything. Just let your mind be as it is. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinpoche. And I'd like to welcome back the CTII Community Choir. Thank you.
La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha illallah.
La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha illallah. La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah.
For the next part, we have some guest speakers. We're responding to Rinpoche's teachings, and the first speaker will be Janet Jobson from the Desmond Tutu Legacy Foundation, followed by Pramila Vasan. Oh, sorry. Sorry, wrong speakers. So sorry. Okay, I'll start again. So our first speaker will be Dr. Aydin Inal from the Turquoise Harmony Islamic Institute, and then followed by Medhavi Dasa from the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and then lastly we will have Rabbi Andrea from the Jewish community.
Thank you so much. I think that was the best mistake you made, for my account at least. Yes, good evening everyone, and assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for the beautiful teachings. From Islamic perspective, the closest term that is mentioned in Islam is Rahmah, which corresponds to compassion. And in Islam, the God is known to have many names, and one of them is Rahman, which is Rahma and Rahman are the same things. And the Quran has 114 chapters, and each one of them, except one, starts with the phrase which goes Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which means in the name of God, most compassionate, most merciful. And this gets repeated before you recite every chapter in the Quran. And the first chapter in the Quran is called Fatiha, which means the opening. In the second verse, the first verse says, God, all praises are due to God. And then the second verse, immediately after that, it says Rahman and Rahim again. So God introduces himself as Rahman, as the compassionate. And in a number of other places, he refers to himself as just Rahman, no Allah, no God, just Rahman. So I think another important detail about the name Rahman is that Rahman is, as the topic of tonight, is boundless. Because Rahman and Rahim, compassionate and merciful, they go together. But Rahman is known to be boundless. It encompasses everything, entire creation, believers, non-believers, living, non-living, humans and animals and plants and everything. And therefore, in most traditions, when you pray to the name Rahman because it encompasses everything, it forgives and it accepts all. And that's the place of compassion, of Rahmah in Islamic tradition. When we have a rule-centered look at the religions, they become very static, unattractive. But when we adopt a value-based approach, then there is so much we can share. And from Islamic perspective, we can start with Rahmah, with compassion towards all. And especially, I don't think I need to describe the times we live in today. And I suppose the most thing that is needed at the moment is compassion. We can offer compassion. The humanity, I think, needs no additional rules, additional this and that. Probably we just need to speak compassion, hear compassion, breathe compassion, and give compassion. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. I'd like to thank everyone for coming this evening to visit, to witness and hear from and welcome the Rinpoche. In the Vedic literatures, even though they're somewhat different from the Buddhism understanding, there's a nice verse that says, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. That a moment's association with a saintly person is the way to all perfection. A lava, interestingly enough, there's a chapter in the Bhagavatam called The Calculation of Time According to the Atom. And time is judged by the time it takes the sun's rays to cross the surface of an atom. So it gets very, very interesting. A lava is 8/15 of a second. Not even 1 second. It says, lava matra, a moment's association with a saintly person can give all perfection. So who's a saint? What's a saint? A saint, also mentioned in the Bhagavatam, it says, Tapyante loka tapena sarva prayasho jana. Who's a saint? He's a person who will almost always accept voluntary suffering to relieve the suffering of others, the people in general. Not interested in his own distress or happiness. He's not interested in a fancy car. He's not interested in a big bank balance. He's not interested in a palatial home. He's just interested in the service of others. So we'd like to welcome again Rinpoche for coming. Thank him for coming to the shores of South Africa. And bless us all. And the message I'd like to give is that even though we're from different backgrounds, even institutions, we're here to cooperate and not to compete. And not to compete. We're here to cooperate. This is called the age of Kali, the age of quarrel, age of disagreement. As soon as someone says something, then somebody has something against it. I don't know about husband and wives, but usually you say something, then you immediately get something contrary. That's the age. It's the age of disagreeing. So we hope that we all, and the very few people that are here, very significant people in this community, who understand that hearing and dialoguing with other institutions and other ways, every paths, is very important for establishing the unity and the compassion that we need to save ourselves and save this country, save the world, like that. So we thank you all very much, and we'd like to extend a hearty thank you to the Cape Town Interfaith Initiative for inviting all of us and all of you, and especially Rinpoche, for coming and addressing tonight. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the teaching, Rinpoche. And I didn't prepare a speech because I was asked to respond. And there was, this meeting is very important for me, and it reminds me of a meeting that happened in 1990. With humbleness to think about it, but the founder of my rabbinical school, Reb Zalman Schachter Shalomi, went to visit His Holiness the Dalai Lama because they were asked, a delegation was asked to come to teach about or like share how can a religion, how can a nation live in exile? And they knew for 2,000 years to do that. And one of the answers was, well, first of all, there was a beautiful book written about it, which I recommend. The title is The Jew in the Lotus. And you can read many of the answers and the beautiful encounters. One of them was, or two, that you should take the practices to your homes and to everywhere else, everywhere where you go, you can and you should be able to do the practices. And the other teaching was that you should teach the future generations. You shall teach the children. And with that, there is one prayer that I completely associated with from your teachings. Oh, there was one more teaching that just Reb Zalman is teaching outside of this encounter. He was asking, and it was in our rabbinical school, like, how long is your anchor chain? And make it long, so even wherever you are rooted, whatever religion you are rooted in, try and go and float and be with the other religions as well, and embrace and feel their teachings. So I've put together your teaching with our teaching now, and it was the Shema, the prayer that we say in the morning and in the evening, and waking up and then going to sleep. Some people at birth, and definitely it's the last prayer before dying. And it's sometimes called a love sandwich, because before the very sentence of the Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, God that speaks about and announces the oneness of the source of life. Before that, there's a whole verse about the abundance of God's love. And so I thought that maybe it's in parallel with the awareness, what you're saying. So just bring that awareness of the love around us. And then comes the Shema. And the Shema itself, that word Shema, is listen or hear or pay attention. There's so many different interpretations, which is something I love about Judaism. But here, it's listen with compassion. Listen and don't judge. Listen. And so I thought that that would work very well with your motivation. And then it's so interesting that the following verse is also about love. And it's about love that we feel afterwards. So the wisdom that comes from being aware and then listening to others, to ourselves, and then the wisdom that we will love. So thank you so much for that teaching. I'll share that song so that you feel that beautiful, the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Thank you so much.
Tumsani bantu nonke, tumsani inkosi, tumsani bantu nonke, tumsani inkosi,
Tumisani bantu nonke, tumisani inkosi, tumisani bantu nonke, tumisani inkosi, tumisani bantu nonke, tumisani inkosi, tumisani bantu nonke, tumisani inkosi, tumisani bantu nonke, tumisani inkosi, tumisani bantu nonke, tumisani inkosi. Sing praises, all you people, sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you people, sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you people, sing praises to the Lord. Sing praises, all you people, sing praises to the Lord. To the
Dumisani bantu nonke, Dumisani inkosi, Dumisani bantu nonke, Dumisani inkosi.
So please welcome the next speakers, and in response to Rinpoche's teaching and meditation. So we have Janet Jobson from the Desmond Tutu Legacy Foundation, followed by Pramila Vasan from the Art of Living Foundation under Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, followed by Nima Taylor from the Unitarian Church, and then Dr. Chrissy Van Sale.
Thank you so much, and good evening, friends in faith and humanity. I always am amazed at South Africans' ability to connect so beautifully across our diversity. It really is something I think we take for granted. It's a profound honor to be with you at this gathering and to share the stage with such incredible faith leaders. I am not a faith leader myself. And it feels particularly poignant to be here honoring the importance of compassion at a time of such unimaginable horror in the world. To be here is to insist that we do not need to give up our humanity to the monstrous. Archbishop Desmond Tutu often reminded us that compassion is not just a sentiment to be admired at a distance. It is a force to be lived. He would say, "My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together." This is the essence of Ubuntu, that our flourishing is inseparable, that to turn away from the suffering of another is to diminish ourselves, and that to respond with compassion is to affirm life itself. Compassion in Tutu's understanding was never weak or sentimental. It was courageous, powerful, and profound. It meant standing with the oppressed even when it was costly to do so, forgiving when hatred seemed easier, and most challengingly, seeing even in an enemy the image of God. Tutu showed us that compassion is not a retreat from justice, it is the very energy that makes justice possible. And compassion sits at the heart of every faith tradition. Ubuntu is a universal invitation into an ever-expanding circle of concern, an invitation to seek out connection across divides, an invitation to build a deeply shared sense of our common humanity, until none in our world are excluded and oppressed. And as we gather tonight, let us not just admire compassion as an ideal. Let's embrace compassion as a force for action, to reshape our lives, our communities, and our world. Let us become, as Desmond Tutu put it, prisoners of hope. Let us become so bound to one another by compassion that despair does not have the final word. I hope that this evening, in community with each other, we find renewal of our shared humanity, of our commitment to justice, and of our faith that boundless compassion can heal even the deepest divides. Thank you.
Good evening, friends. Thank you so much to the Cape Town Interfaith community and the beautiful choir and the beautiful meditation that you took us through. It reminded me that the programs of Art of Living, they're very much deeply rooted in meditation as well. Meditation is action in action. But to see the meditation in action, compassion in action, that's what we call our community service programs that we are flourishing in throughout the world. So we all know the world-renowned humanitarian and ambassador for peace, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, How many of us heard about him, met him here in St. George's Cathedral? It was back to capacity, yes? Yeah. Thank you. And in fact, twice. So, you know, there's a presence of the Earth Living presence globally is about 180 countries. And in Africa, we have a presence in about 26 countries. And whenever there is any form of despair, he has brought hope and love and joy to the hearts of people. Based on the different pathways of peace, we have what we call one of the largest volunteer-based organizations, so it's open to everybody. And our service programs are really possible through the training that we offer. It's how do we build the inner capacity of every individual. When we are able to take care of our own minds, our own emotions, our own health, we have an abundance of energy. And that abundance of energy, it's not for our selfish means. Because whatever we have, it's here for sharing. Don't you agree? And that is what that is where the flow of compassion happens. It flows from a high peak to a low peak. So when we have abundance, what do we want to do? We want to share and give with all our heart. And this is how he has inspired millions of people all over the world. And the programs are based on what is universally accepting to everybody. It's based on breathing techniques. And if you haven't had the experience of Sudarshan Kriya, please, you know, I run the Auto Living Claremont Center, I'm not punting it, but come and have that experience. We have so many other centers here as well, city, northern suburbs, we do have them. So they are accessible. And then those are the programs, and of course we have different tiers of meditation as well. So, and then once you have this experience, and when you realize the massive transformation he's done through all these programs, people naturally become inspired and they say, how can I help? What can I do? What role can I play to bring about change and transformation in people's lives? And we know Africa needs it, doesn't it need that? No. So, and one of the beautiful ways that we can do it is, you know, we know that world in technology, it breeds a lot of isolation. And Gurudev, we call, he's fondly known as Gurudev, he has chosen to build society through connecting people. In a society where both poverty and wealth builds walls and barriers, he builds bridges through a sense of belongingness. How many of us have felt a sense of belongingness on a regular basis? There are times we have isolation. What happened during COVID? How many loved ones didn't we lose during COVID? What happened to the human spirit? So to come out of that, we need to come together, grow together, share together, have the experience of the fullness of life, the abundance that nature has given us. We need to share it with that same level of abundance. So that compassion not only to people, but also to the planet. You know, and planting trees, I mean, Art of Living has planted so far 9.6 million trees to save the planet. So each and everybody has this innate capacity to give, to love, to share. But we need to have that experience before we are able to share. So compassion is not just a concept, it's really love in action, love in motion. And wouldn't you all like to experience that? So we have different levels of programs through youth leadership, prison rehabilitation programs, where there have been disasters. So many programs are there. There's a program for each and every human being. So in a culture which is marked with deep disparities of race, gender, economics, etc., Gurudev has demonstrated that when we treat people as our own families, we call that the one world family. In Sanskrit it's called Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And when we treat them as our own families, rather than mere statistics, peace is possible. And this is where you were speaking about, Rinpoche. is that you were speaking of the boundless compassion. It's unending. So we understand and believe and experience the universe is it's eternal, then we are able to tap into that boundless compassion. Thank you. Jai Guru.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for these teachings. I am here representing the Cape Town Unitarians. Some of my beloved community members are here with me tonight. But I wanted to respond as a longtime Dzogchen practitioner. I suspect that Rinpoche is slightly more advanced than I am. But I'm going to take a risk and talk about your compassionate teachings from a Dzogchen perspective. Sometimes it sounds so easy, right? Just let go. You're already compassionate, right? And in one respect, that is true. My Buddhist teacher would say that there's two components of the practice, and that is swooping down from above, knowing that you are already compassion. You already have within you innate Buddha nature. You are innately wise and innately kind and innately loving. And there is also times when what my Buddhist teacher would say is when one cannot swoop down from above, one needs to schlep up from below. Rabbi Andy. He was born Jewish, so he loved to say that it is equally important to know how to schlep up from below. And when I think about compassion, can't we all know times when it seems impossible to be compassionate to those around us? And so these Dzogchen teachings, as Rinpoche, you have said, it used to be taught one-to-one and one-to-one. But as Janet says, in these times, we need more than that. We need to be the Rinpoche teaching all of us these compassionate teachings. And one of the things that I will quote you as having said, if we could see the whole truth of any situation, our only response would be one of compassion. And so what do we do in the meantime? And I will only share with you 3 practices that help me. The one is, as Rinpoche has been talking about, having an open heart. What does that feel like? Can you just close your eyes for a moment? Maybe your heart is feeling very open. And you can just be deeply aware what an open heart feels like. And when I feel my own heart being open, I like to be aware and remind myself. And equally, when I find my heart closed down, I want to be aware of what that feels like. Perhaps you can think of a time when your heart felt closed, perhaps to a situation or a person, one that challenged your willingness to be compassionate. And it is in those moments when we find it so hard to be compassionate that we can do a little schlepping. One of the simplest things that I often find coming to mind is loving kindness practice. Can you simply see that other person that you are so challenged by, and you can silently wish for them, may you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy in mind and body. May you feel safe and protected in all ways. And may you be free from suffering. I find that something so simple as loving kindness practice can sometimes crack a tiny hole in your open heart to be able to feel the slightest bit of compassion for that person you find it so difficult to be around. And then lastly, I want to encourage everyone, this is not a plug for Rinpoche's meditation course. I think it has sold out, so please do not be interested in it. But he has wonderful things online. Be in silence. I think this beautiful group of interfaith leaders, there are so many ways to just sit in silence. And whatever that way works for you. I find for my own self, when I make the time to sit in silence, it is far easier to have an open heart. And so I encourage us all to find those ways to be in silence. The Dzogchen phrase that seems so simple, but sometimes challenging. Let it be enough to just sit, just breathe, and just be. And so may it be. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Ndithokozani emakhosini, Camakwini. In my culture, we believe that the maternal and the paternal bloodline come together and they conspire over a purpose for your life. And when you come into the world, we particularly do a ritual that keeps you aligned to that purpose. I'm mentioning this purpose because one of the most difficult things that have made compassion difficult is trauma. And I believe that one of the first ways in which I began to extend compassion to my abusers was a moment of stillness, trying to put myself in their shoes. It was difficult. It's still difficult, but it allowed me to understand a lot of contexts that may have caused their behaviors from a human perspective. And I thought to myself, were I to have stood in their shoes, how would I have behaved? Had I unconscious reactions to trauma or triggers in my body with the same bodies of traumas they carried, how would I have carried myself? And it was particularly interesting for me because You may know better in your mind and in your heart to schlep yourself up, right? But your nervous system may be telling you a different story. Your body may be reacting in a different manner. And my body was also particularly reacting in ways that I was not proud of. But I had to give myself grace because of being human, which was a difficult thing to accept to a certain extent because of being spiritually gifted as well, which means I mostly between dimensions and realms, right? Existing in plurality. Also, to my human self, that's so grand. I can't possibly be limited to the human condition. What do you mean? You know? So particularly when I sat in that moment and I said, okay, Christy, were you in this person's shoes, carrying those bodies of traumas in your body, with no outlets, with no support systems, a whole bunch of pressure and black tax, how would you have behaved? And that was the moment in time when the medication of stillness was able to give me answers because I reflected as though I was in their position. And what that helped me to do was to learn how to listen to my body talking to me where there is pain, ailment, and trauma. And I was able to do the somatic work so that I was able to then hold space for my abuser to also heal. My chat, clock it, my chat is if you'd really, really like to extend compassion as boundlessly as we are born, look into your trauma. Look into the bodies of ailment and pain that you carry that make it difficult for you to be able to stand in someone else's shoes, so that you're able to expand your understanding of the human condition. Thokoza.
Please welcome back on the stage the CTII Community Choir. Oh, no? Oh, okay. In that case, please welcome on stage the Reverend Pippa Jones, who will introduce the CTII Youth Program.
I'm not going to do a solo. I also don't want to out anyone who is old enough to answer this question. You know who you are. But if anyone can recall with clarity 1999, and I'm not going to sing Prince's song either, you may remember something very significant happened here in Cape Town. Any heads want to nod at all? This was the first time outside of the United States that the Parliament of the World's Religions came to another continent and another country, and it was here in Cape Town. And that was revolutionary in many regards, but one of the fruits of that experience was that several key people came together, including Father John Oliver and the former Mayor Gordon Oliver, and they assembled interfaith people together to create, in the beginning of the year 2000, the Cape Town Interfaith Initiative. Just celebrated their 25th anniversary. Yeah. Fast forward to 2011, and a name that many of you may recognize, Marlene Silbert, created what would become known as the Youth Interfaith Intercultural Program. And it has been running now continuously, even through COVID, for the last 15 years. And it's been my very great privilege to be the lead facilitator for the last 4 of those. So allow me a proud mummy moment, if you don't mind. I'm about to welcome some of our current participants on the program. Our program is 2 years, and we start in grade 10, and then the second year, of course, grade 11. And these are learners from a variety of schools throughout the city who come together to explore 3 key questions, which are: who am I? Who are you? And who are we? And we've created a very special program this year for our grade 11s called Local Eyes at Global Heart. And we gave our grade 11s the challenge to look through, some of you may know this book, Karen Armstrong's 12 Steps to a Compassionate Life. Each group chose one of those steps, and they're going to come and give you how they would like to respond to that particular step. And I think you'll all agree with me that us oldies need to remember that we are creating space for our young people, their voices, their hearts, their dreams, their aspirations. And so therefore it's my very, very great privilege to welcome grade 11, our second year program participants on the Cape Town Interfaith Youth Interfaith and Intercultural Program. Thank you very much, everybody.
I am because you are. I am because you are. I am because you are. I am because you are.
Knowledge is key to understand people's needs. Knowledge is key to understand people's needs.
Knowledge breaks down all sort of stereotypes. Knowledge breaks down all sort of stereotypes. Knowledge leads to compassion. Knowledge leads to compassion.
A wealthy man was walking down the street when he passed a homeless man who begged him for food and money. The rich man looked down on him with arrogance, laughed and walked away, leaving the homeless man hungry and hopeless. Moments later, the homeless man spotted a 10 rand note on the ground. With it, he bought a lotto ticket and he entered the competition. And against all odds, he won the grand prize of 50 million rand. Instead of wasting his fortune, he invested wisely, putting money into businesses and eventually becoming even more successful. Years later, as the once poor man was driving through a set of traffic lights, he saw the very same rich man who had laughed at him long ago, now facing the same hardship. However, this time, something in his heart changed. He felt empathy for the man that looked down upon him years ago, and he actually decided to offer him a job in one of his companies, showing kindness where he had once been shown cruelty. This skit highlights compassion, humility, and how life can turn tables. It reminds us that no matter how high we rise or how low we fall, kindness will always matter most.
One, two, one, two. Today, can everyone hear me, right? All right. Today, I'll be speaking. All right. Okay. Today, I'll be speaking about one of the most important concepts of humanity that we so often neglect: compassion. Compassion, not just for the people around you. No, compassion for yourself.
Too often, we are our own hardest critics, speaking to ourselves in ways we'd never speak to a friend. Self-compassion means changing that voice, replacing "I'm so stupid" with I made a mistake and that's okay. I can benefit from it. I can learn from it. When we treat ourselves with the same kindness we'd give someone we love, we stop tearing ourselves down and start building ourselves up instead.
Compassion for yourself starts with the small things. It's about taking a moment to breathe, letting yourself off the hook for a mistake, or simply being gentle with yourself when you're having a tough day. It's like trying to start with an essay. The introductions are always the hardest part, but as they say, you always need to start somewhere.
Compassion for yourself is about embracing kindness and understanding towards your own imperfections, just as you would offer a friend. It's about being gentle with yourself, acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses, and treating yourself with some kindness. By doing so, you'll unlock a profound sense of self-acceptance, inner peace, allowing you to live a more self-empowered and more compassionate life.
Choose to be compassionate to yourself by treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance. Reducing negativity improves emotional state of self, and you can do this by keeping a journal, speaking to others, and choosing to be kind to yourself every day.
So, the answer: self-compassion. Overall, we want you to know that through small acts of compassion for yourself and accepting your differences, you can have boundless compassion. Thank you.
Good evening to all. We will be doing a poem based on mindfulness. Take my hand. We will walk. We will only walk. We will enjoy our walk without thinking of arriving to any place. Walk peacefully. Walk happily. Our walk is a peaceful walk. Our walk is a happiness walk. Then we learn that there is no peace walk, that peace is the walk, that there is no happiness walk, that happiness is the walk. We walk for ourselves, we walk for everyone, always hand in hand. Walk and see happiness everywhere. Walk and see peace everywhere. Each step makes a fresh breeze. Each step makes flowers bloom under our feet. Kiss the earth with your feet. Print upon earth your love and happiness. Earth will be safe when we feel in us enough safety. Thank you.
So before we start, can we have one volunteer who would like to guess what's inside this box?
Okay.
Let's take a wild guess. What do you think is inside this box?
Lots and lots of chocolates.
Unfortunately not, but thank you. Anushka, do you know what's inside this box?
I'm not sure, but what I do know is that overconfidence and arrogance often gets in the way of our compassion. When these giants take over, we often forget that the people that we interact with also faces challenges and experiences pain. So the next time we allow these giants to take over, let's take a step back and lead with compassion. Now, Amy, do you know what's inside the box?
I don't know what's inside that box, but you know what? I think we should take a moment to look at Ramla's side of the story.
Often when we come with assumptions about what we think is inside the box or we think is the picture, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to learn something new from somebody else.
So it's not entirely bad that we don't know what's inside this box, but it's important to appreciate the unknown instead of judging it, just like compassion teaches us to be gentle and kind with one another and ourselves, even if we don't have the full picture. So now the big moment we've all been waiting for, what's inside this box?
This is the pen to rewriting our future, leading with compassion.
Compassion in action.
We want to make a difference in our community, but it's hard to know where to start. There's poverty, violence, and neglect all around us. How can we possibly make a dent?
In a world torn apart by neglect, violence, and poverty, one question remains. Can compassion truly be the key to make a difference? Every day we are faced with situations which shows hardships. But what if we tell you that it takes the smallest action to transform lives in a way we all truly never believe?
Let's start small. We can begin with one person, one action at a time. We don't have to change the world overnight. Even the smallest action can have a big impact. We can be the seed of our community, water to the plant and watch it
grow. Together we can create a positive change and give people a sense of purpose. We can show them that they are seen, heard, and valued.
So with this, let's speak up. Let's speak out about it. Let's stand up for what's right, and let's stand up for the equality that our communities deserve.
Together we can create a positive change and give people a sense of purpose. We can show them that they are seen, valued, and heard.
So in conclusion, compassion in action is about making a difference. Even if it's just for the smallest things that you say, a word or action, or even a thought. As the quote says, or as the saying goes, that even the smallest thing or the smallest act of compassion in someone's life can make their whole day. In the same way, we see a lot of in communities like the Cape Flats, we see a lot of things like negativity and violence going on. So using compassion could be just the key to changing, to change. So let us take this, let's take initiative, let's go local, and let's speak up. Let's be the voice for people, and let's work towards a bright future where people have purpose, where people can have a purpose and hope for their lives. We can show, so we can show them that they are loved, heard, seen, and valued.
Let's make a difference, one small action at a time.
I am because you are. I am because you are. I am because you are.
Thank you so much to the CTII Youth Program and to all the incredible contributions for the teachings and meditation. Please join us now as we begin a light offering. And so we will ask you, Rinpoche, to start.
I think you need to wait a little bit. You need to melt. Okay. So we have this mantra, what we call mantra of Buddha of compassion. So I will sing a song, not really a song, but it's chanting. So if you want to follow, welcome. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme 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 Om Mani Padme. Maybe I would like to introduce the meaning of this mantra. Mani is the wish fulfilling gem, meaning wisdom. Padme meaning lotus flower, compassion. So the union of wisdom and compassion together to bring happiness and the causes of happiness for everybody. So while you're reciting this mantra, please pray for the world peace. So now there's a lot of turbulent conflicts, the war, so many things going on, that we all hear that fundamental level, we all have wanting to be happy, don't want to suffer. At the same time, we all have awareness, wisdom, love and compassion is hidden us, is there, but we are not recognized. So wish that everybody discover their innate love, compassion, wisdom, and the world become peaceful. No conflicts, no war. And in the end, everybody fully connected with their own heart. So we will pray again. Om Mani Padme 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 Om Mani Padme. Now, in the end, what we call the prayer of boundless love and compassion. So we will pray this together. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Repeat again, total 3 times. Now, second, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you, invited guests, and our choir, and our youth program, and to all of you for this boundless compassion, this expression of boundless compassion. Please take your light out into the world. Thank you, Rinpoche.